All right, so we just played our super awesome game called Make It a Bad Day, and we ruined the lives of Steve and Anita by putting worse and worse situations in. And I will say again that was the most excited I've seen kids for, a long time, because for some odd reason we enjoy. I mean, it's the same thing with our books, why maybe we like watching the Kardashians or whatever, but we enjoy it when we watch or read people who have problems. If we are reading a book and everything is happy-go-lucky and puppies and rainbows and butterflies, nothing really happens and it's not very interesting. It is addicting to watch people, like if you're watching reality TV, it's addicting to watch people go through these tough times. It's just human nature, okay? So authors do that to their characters on purpose. Raise your hand if your book, your character has had a problem. I would hope so, that all hands would be raised. Yes, all of your books, your characters have problems. Okay. And so we're going to talk today that we are going to look at what kind of problems characters are going to have. All right. So what you need to do is get out your notes. There are 3 different types of problems, and they are down here. And we are going to identify them right now. So in your notebooks, we are going to write down 3 different definitions. Now, these are true to our lives. They're true to books. They're true to dystopian books. Okay. There are personal problems. There are external problems. And then there are political systemic problems. Okay. So a personal problem is a problem that you can control. It affects only you. So I'm going to paint you a picture of yet another character. We'll call him Bob. And Bob's entire extended family is coming to live at his house. And maybe there's like 14 cousins, and they're all coming to stay in his house. And he is extremely jealous that his cousin, Edward, has an Xbox 360. I hope that's the latest Xbox. If not, I'm not hip anymore, but that's okay. So Bob is jealous of Edward. Those are the names I said? Yes. Bob is jealous of Edward because Edward has the coolest new Xbox. Now, that is a personal problem. Edward he has something, and Bob chooses, not necessarily chooses, but Bob's personally jealous. So that jealousy is a personal problem. He can control it by being like, okay, listen, but I have a little bit of self-talk. Okay, I know I'm jealous. It stinks to be jealous. I should be thankful that I have this, this, and this. Okay. So a personal problem is a problem that only affects you. All right. The next type of problem is an external problem. Okay. This is a problem that is caused by external reason. Oops. Okay. I don't know what is happening. A problem caused by external, like outside reasons. So, like his parents bought him that Xbox. And so Edward's parents bought him that new Xbox 360. And your parents expect you, like, they're not just gonna be like, well, sure, honey, we'll buy you a new Xbox. That's fine. Bob's parents then expect him to save up money to get that himself. So the problem on Bob there is coming from his parents, which is an external reason. Okay, an outside factor. The third one is a problem caused by the system. So think about our social issues books. It is a problem that you have zero control over. It is a problem just because of the way things are. Okay? I'll put that in parentheses. A problem because of the way things just are. So like when we talked social issues books, like when we think back to some of the social issues that we have, problems that occur to people because of they're just part of that particular group. Remember how we talked about that? Like if people were a member of a group, like a social group, and there were problems caused for that social group, that would be a systemic problem. We had our character Steve, who had many, many medical bills after one day of injury after injury after injury. Okay. That is a systemic problem because that is just the way things are. People have to go to the doctor, and you have medical bills upon medical bills upon medical bills. And that's just the way things are. That is a problem because you have to pay for your medical services. Okay. If you think about our friend Bob, whose cousins came to live with him, he had a house. The house was fine, but now that his cousins are in his house for 3 weeks and there's 14 of them, there's not enough space. And that's just because that's the way the house is. He can't snap his fingers and expect the house to grow 14 new bedrooms. It is a problem just because that's the way things are. It would be cool. It'd be like magic. All right, so really quick, what we're going to do is we are going to brainstorm a list of problems in ponies, okay? And then you guys are going to work with the people around you and figure out what kind of problem that they are. All right, so let's brainstorm. Okay, so what I'm going to say is I'm going to give you like 1 minute to talk to the person next to you, decide in ponies, the cutting ceremony, bullying, murder, peer pressure, fitting in, making the decision of what to cut. Are those personal problems, external problems, or a political / systemic problem? Ready, set, talk it out. Okay, so we said the cutting ceremony because that was a large, like that was a like a historical ceremony. That is a systemic problem. Bullying, we said, is external because people are choosing to bully from an outside source. Murder is external. Peer pressure and fitting in, we said, was a mixture of both because if you're personal, like you decide that, but external because the classmates are doing the pressuring, and then making that decision is personal. Okay, so all right, so for the last 10 minutes, you guys have the organizer in front of you. You are going to list the problems, tell me what type of problem it is in your book, and then explain the options that the character could respond. They could get in trouble for their response, okay? So if the problem is the cutting ceremony, that is a systemic problem, or the problem is you need to get a tattoo, that is a systemic problem. If the problem is the Hunger Games that you have to go, what are some of the choices? Well, you can choose to fight against the Hunger Games. You could choose to not get the tattoo. They could choose to not go to the cutting ceremony. Yeah, there's going to be bad consequences to that what your response could be, but there are choices. Okay. All right, 10 minutes. Make it happen.